One, welcome all. Strap on your seatbelts because it's time for liftoff.
10, 9, 8,
Come
7,
on.
6,
Let's get this
5,
thing off the ground,
4,
folks.
3,
Come
2,
on.
1.
I'm going to need all your
0.
energy.
Ignition.
Come on.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Let's go to some exciting places together. Come on. Come on. Yes.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. It's the show.
Let's go. Hello, amigos. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys are ready to rock. I know you're ready to rock. You're always ready to rock. You always bring your A game. Oh, yeah. Great expression to kick it off today. To bring your A game. Traer, tu juego de primera, traducido literalmente. Venid listo, armados. I know all of you have brought your A game today, and I know you're ready to shine and be head and shoulders above the rest. You guys know that? The shampoo? HIS? Well, there's two reasons it's called Head and Shoulders. It's actually brilliant. Not the shampoo. Well, it's okay, I guess. If you have dandruff, si tienes caspa. By the way, we've got an FYI episode on hair coming up. But yes, the shampoo, HIS, Head and Shoulders, is because where do you normally see dandruff? Caspa. On your head and your shoulders, right? But also, if something is head and shoulders above the rest, well, that means that it is in a category of its own. It's head and shoulders above the rest. Did you know that about that popular shampoo? And do you know what's head and shoulders above the rest? Vaughn Groups. Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn Groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831. Or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn Groups are for you. That's right, folks. More information at our website, grupovaughn.com. And folks, let me just remind you of this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right. Question of the week. This week, it's a fun one, I think. And I've really thought about it long and hard this week. So I've got my answer. The question is, when do you feel the most alive? And maybe some of you know it instantly. You know, the moment I ask the question, something pops into your head. Like my friend and student Carmen, who's already participated. By the way, a nice round of applause for Carmen, because it's not this Friday. It's the following Friday. Es el viernes siguiente. So it's not even this Friday that we're talking about, but Carmen has done her homework, and I know many of you are also preparing it. Remember, if you want to participate in this very useful section, because I can really, really help you guys with your pronunciation, with your intonation, and all that jazz. So if you want to participate, send a 1-minute voice message. Always introduce yourself, okay? No matter how many times. Some of you have participated every single time. And by the way, you know who you are. But more importantly, I know who you are. Más importante, I know who you are. So keep up the great work. I am proud of you guys, and you sound great. And not only that, but I think it was maybe Laura or Chris, one of you, who said another great thing about this section. Maybe it was Anix. Somebody who's participated every week said another great thing is not just that we get to practice our spoken English and voice our opinions about stuff and get you to be able to help us out with that, but also I'm learning about my fellow classmates. And that is magical, my amigos. Absolutely magical. So I urge you all to participate. This coming Friday, we do have a show, but since it's a short week and some people will be on holiday in Madrid Thursday and Friday. Thursday, there's a repeat. I can tell you right now. Friday, brand spanking new show on Friday. So we're looking forward to that as well. But we'll save it till next Friday. Now, that doesn't mean put it off. That means seize the day. Carpe diem, my amigo. So I urge you to participate. A 1-minute voice message telling me when you feel the most alive. And you can send that to my email address. It's aalonso@grupovon.com. I and your fellow students look forward to hearing from you. And folks, it's time for a little participation in today's pop quiz. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Pop quiz. Once you pop, you can't stop. There's Pringles in the house. We're talking about a lot of brands, no? Head and Shoulders, Pringles. Yeah. Te vas a pringar con los Pringles. All right, I'll stop. Here we go, folks. I need you. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos. All right. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And as always, this comes from a post, or it comes also from perhaps something, one of our materials. So you can expect it to come from something, one of our things here, something Vaughn related. So what am I getting at here? Well, that means you guys should follow us on social media. It also means that if you're on YouTube, Vaughn has got an amazing page over there with tons and tons of videos, and you guys can learn English, as you know, for free with us over at Vaughn every single day. Now, today we're going to take a look, or I should say, we're going to give it a listen. This is from the book Essential English. Now, Essential English is available at the Vaughn Tienda and wherever fine books are sold. And as with most, or if not all, of our Vaughn materials, they come with audio, which is a wonderful thing because you can make sure you're saying the things correctly, not just, aquí es como se escribe. And as you and I know, and all of us know, that's at least in my, and I think it should be, your least important worry. How do you spell it? Who cares? You should know how to say it, then spell it after, right? That's the natural order. That's what I love about the Vaughn method. I see it with my daughter. By the way, the new section, Learn with Lara, Class 2 will be tomorrow, so don't miss that. Class 2. If you're in my community, you've already heard Class 2 because you get early access to a lot of the content that I produce and create. So this is from Essential English. Tons of amazing content, speaking of, available at the Vaughn Tienda. If you're looking for classes, we've got something for every budget, every level. Go to grupovaughn.com, our main website. If you're just looking for resources or maybe some Christmas presents, that's grupovaughn.com. Phone number, hey, some people still use the phone. I don't very much, but 911-385831 or social media. So what am I getting at? There's no wrong way to keep in touch with us at Vaughn. So if you have this book, well, you don't really have to, but if you want to just use it as a guide, you have to open to page 42. Page 42 in Essential English, el inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas. And this book, as I said, with many other books, is available at the Vaughn Tienda. So what do I need you to do? Listen carefully, and then I'm going to ask you some questions based on what you heard. And we're going to learn today about the time and opening hours. You'll hear some vocabulary, some translations, and even a little conversation. This is from Essential English, el inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas. Here we go.
Shops, places, and local services.
Pista 13.
The time and opening hours.
Horario de apertura. Horario de oficina.
Opening hours. Office hours.
Abrir. Cerrar.
To open. Close.
Abierto. Cerrado.
Open. Closed.
Las 8 de la mañana. Las 8 de la noche.
8 a.m. 8 p.m.
En punto.
O'clock. On the dot.
Mediodía.
Midday. 12 p.m.
Por la mañana.
In the morning.
Por la tarde.
In the afternoon.
Por la tarde-noche.
In the evening.
Por la noche.
At night.
Concertar una cita.
To make an appointment. You've reached the East Medical Centre. You're calling outside our office hours. Our office hours are Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. and Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We do not make appointments. Please visit our clinic at your convenience. If you have an emergency outside our office hours, please contact 911. For more information, please visit our website or send us an email at emcentre@east.medical.co.uk. Thank you for your call.
This medical centre has very strange opening hours. The answering machine says it's open on Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8 o'clock in the evening till 1 o'clock at night. On Tuesdays, they're open from 9:30 at night until 3:15 in the morning.
Really? What about Thursdays?
On Thursdays, they're open from 3 in the morning till 9 in the morning.
Are you sure it's not their emergency service?
Well, yes, I am sure. It says to call 999 in case of an emergency.
I think there's a mistake. I'm going to check the website.
Translation time.
1. Nuestro horario de apertura es de 9 a 6.
Our opening hours are from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
2. Voy a llamar a la clínica.
I'm going to call the clinic.
3. Él va a ir al centro médico.
He's going to go to the medical center.
4. Vamos a concertar una cita.
We're going to make an appointment.
5. ¿A qué hora te vas a ir?
What time are you going to leave?
6. Su oficina, de ellos, abre a las 9:30.
Their office opens at 9:30.
7. Cierran a las 5 en punto.
They close at 5 o'clock on the dot.
8. Ella se va a ir al mediodía.
She's going to leave at midday.
9. Estamos cerrados por la tarde.
We're closed in the afternoon.
10. El bar está cerrado por la mañana.
The bar is closed in the morning.
11. ¿Estáis abiertos por la tarde-noche?
Are you open in the evening?
12. El hospital está abierto por la noche.
The hospital is open at night. Practice time.
Ahora di las horas en voz alta usando
It's a.m.
o
It's p.m.
5 de la mañana,
It's 5 a.m.
medianoche,
It's 12 a.m.
las 4 de la tarde,
It's 4 p.m.
las 8 de la tarde,
It's 8 p.m.
las 7 de la mañana,
It's 7 a.m.
las 11 de la mañana,
It's 11 a.m.
las 2 de la mañana,
It's 2 a.m.
las 3 de la tarde,
It's 3 p.m.
las 12 del mediodía.
It's 12 p.m.
Aplica lo aprendido en otras situaciones. 1. Voy a comprar un nuevo sofá.
I'm going to buy a new sofa.
2. ¿A qué hora vais a comer?
What time are you going to have lunch?
3. Vamos a comer a la 1.
We're going to have lunch at 1 p.m.
4. ¿A qué hora vamos a cenar?
What time are we going to have dinner?
5. ¿A qué hora van a ir al cine?
What time are they going to go to the cinema?
6. Voy a llegar a la 1 en punto.
I'm going to arrive at 1 o'clock on the dot.
7. Van a ir al cine a las 10:30.
They're going to go to the cinema at 10:30.
8. Ella va a estar aquí por la tarde.
She's going to be here in the afternoon.
All right, there you go, folks. Lovely voices there. That's Tosh Pascua, Carmen Vallejo, and Rob Grams, all friends of mine, all amazing people and amazing teachers, and you can listen to them here on Vaughn Radio. Well, Tosh is not on Vaughn Radio anymore, but she moved, but we've got some good news, and I saw it on social media yesterday. She's got her show. It's back as a podcast. So you can tune in and listen and learn with Tosh Pascua every day. I knew she wasn't going to go away. Okay, just because she left Vaughn doesn't mean she's not doing what she loves to do, and that's teaching you guys. So follow me and all my amigos on social media, and you'll learn, and you'll also be able to interact and participate with all of us. All right. Here's what I want from you guys, Show with No Namers. When we heard the voice message on the answering machine, it says, has contactado con. Well, I want you to use that, but I want you to use it in context. And I want you to give me 3 things. So hold off. Hang on. Hold your horses, as we say. So the first thing, we're going to play with that contactar con. So has contactado. How would you answer the phone? Right? Let's say you're answering it at your company. Hola, has contactado con tal. ¿Cómo le puedo asistir? You know, use something that's actually useful that you would say or you would want to say. All right, that's number 1. The next one is hacer una cita. Hacer una cita, which is very, very common. You should know this one. And the next one had to do with telling time, which is obviously a very, very important skill to know in any language. Telling time, right? And the last one, the third thing I want you to give me is en punto. So you're going to give me un ejemplo. El show with no name empieza a tal hora en punto. You got it right there. So number 1, has contactado con tal empresa, tal entidad. Gracias por su llamada. You can make it up, that part. You know, make it useful, make it real. Number 2, úsalo en contexto. Quizá tu próximo. ¿Qué tienes que hacer? O el último que tuviste. Right? Hacer una cita is number 2. And number 3, and you can use them in separate sentences. It doesn't have to be the same story. I'm not asking you to be Steven Spielberg here. I want you to give me en punto. Cuando decimos la hora, en punto. All right, let's see who's with us in our chat room over here, our virtual classroom. We've got Born to Iron Man in the house. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you here. As always, buddy. Laura's in the house. Lovely Laura. She says, good morning. Lovely show with no-namers. Let's get this show off the ground and bring our A game to be head and shoulders above the rest. Wow. Laura, talk about using the vocabulary. There's nothing like the present moment, because if you have to think about it, what did he say? Did he say hop, skip, and a jump, or skip, hop, and a jump? Or did he? So again, it's so important, that proximity. That's what Lara's secret is. Little Lara, she doesn't wait 2 minutes to say what I said. She repeats it instantly, like a parrot. And that's how you remember it. But because then you start to say, well, wait, did he say it like that? Did he, what was it pronounced like this? Or you forget naturally. You got a million things happening inside your brain. So great job, Laura. As always, a model student. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. David, great to have you with us. As always, buddy. Kubla says, how's it hanging? Astonishing gang. How do you get straight A's? By using a ruler. Kubla, we never know what to expect. Well, yes, we do. Poetry or a joke? We don't know which one is coming our way on which day. So do you guys get it? So A's es sobresaliente. In English, we have, I got an A. De hecho, la escala es muy fácil. A, B, C, D, and F. No hay E. Evidentemente, A is el mejor. But wait, inside of each one, you've got A plus, A minus. Then you got B plus, B minus. O sea que cada letra tiene tres escalas dentro, right? And F minus, it doesn't matter. You failed. So you got to repeat it if you fail, right? You get 0 points for failing here. So that's, and straight A's means on your report card, tus notas, tu informe de notas, I don't know what you call it. We call it your report card. If you're Lisa Simpson, you have straight A's. O sea, todo, un pleno, I think you would say, de sobresalientes. So great one. And by using a ruler, porque son rectas, good joke, Kubla. You've always been a straight shooter. Okay, you rule. Okay, I'll stop. Touche. Lupe, there she is. She says, good morning, friends. Ready to rock. Glad to hear it, Lupe. It's always great to have you on board with us. Laura says, good morning. Oh, great. Laura's participating in our pop quiz. She says, good morning. You've reached Laura's office. How may I help you? Yes. You've reached. Ojo. He oído mucha gente decir, alumnos, you've reached to, has alcanzado, has contactado con, or you. No. It's not contact with me. No, it's contact me next week. Si decimos hasta la palabra contact, no lleva preposición. Okay? Get in touch with me. But to reach, y esto lo usamos siempre, alcanzar, pero es también comunicar con. Man, you are a difficult person to reach. I've been calling you all morning. I can't reach you. Right? So reach, piénsalo, alcanza, lo mismo es contactar en inglés. Same idea there. So good morning. You have reached Laura's office. How may I help you? Very good. Very, very standard there in any. Hi, thanks for calling Alberto's office. How can I help you? You've reached, right? Excellent job. Let's see. I'd like to make an appointment. Perfect. To make an appointment, it's always with make. Okay? Which, remember this, an appointment is what you make with the doctor, and a date is what you make with a friend or a girlfriend, right? So, I'd like to make an appointment. Perfect. And the last one, could you be here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock? All right, 10 o'clock is good, porque me dices 10, pero quiero que me digas en punto. Like, ni un segundo después, ni un segundo antes. Speaking of time here, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, amigos. I can't believe it. The good news, we've got some other people participating, so we're going to see some other answers in today's pop quiz. Folks, we'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. All right, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to today's Show with No Name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. Thank you for being here every day, laughing and learning with me. Remember to download the Vaughn Radio app, and this way you can listen wherever, whenever, and get free English classes every day. And you've also got the option to listen to this show via podcast. So wherever your favorite podcast platform is, you can go over there and download your favorite episodes. Don't forget to download and follow FYI for your English, my self-produced podcast. It comes out every Friday. The Show with No Name is your daily English class. And FYI is your weekly English class that's more focused. As you know, last week we looked at bugs. This coming week, we're looking at the Grand Canyon. There's a wealth of topics already done. Una abundancia. And if you have any suggestions for future topics, just let me know. All right, amigos, we've got a lot to do on today's show, so let's kick off with the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? All right, amigos, here's your Say What soundbite on the Show with No Name. As always, you're going to hear this clip 4 times, so you'll have 4 chances to write down everything you hear. And initially, I just want you to give me your take, tu opinión, but give it to me in your best, brightest English. I know you can. You shine every day here on the show. Well, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't change, Show with No Namers. All right. Is everybody ready? All you have to do is grab a pen, grab your English notebook. You should have a notebook. You know, it's like what is a carpenter without a hammer? Well, what's a student without a pen or a pencil and a notebook or an iPad? Hey, if you're into digital things, that's great. I like to write things down personally. I have a lot of scratch pads and scrap paper all over the place. And scrap paper es papel esta que solo vale un lado. Entonces lo usas, you're not going to put your resume on it, but you can use it to jot things down. So you ready to jot this down? Here's the Say What soundbite for the first time.
You can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. And
all right, don't worry about the and at the end. He says and it was hard to cut that part out. So the and I'm not interested in. There's some tough. I just realized it's tougher than I thought it was. All right, well, let me give it to you again, and then we'll discuss it. We also have to check some of your answers in our pop quiz, because we've got a lot of people participating, which is fantastic. All right, here we go. Here's the second listen.
you can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. And
hey, and in the meantime, let me remind you about our new shows. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn Radio proudly presents 2 brand spanking new shows. You can join Ruby every weekday on her program Speak Up from 3 to 4 p.m. Speak Up is for students who are just getting started and superstars who want to go over the basics. Let Ruby guide you through the English experience on her new program, Speak Up, on Vaughn Radio from 3 to 4 p.m. And Frankly Speaking, hosted by Chris. This program will be on every evening from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And in Frankly Speaking, Chris Frank will make you feel like you were at the restaurant or bar with him in a totally native conversation. Learn English as you have fun with Frankly Speaking. So make sure you check out our 2 latest programs. You're going to love them. Frankly Speaking with Chris from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Speak Up with Ruby from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you're going to love these new programs. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss them. That's right, folks. Don't miss the new programs. Also, mark your calendars. Your boy, our boy, nuestro colega Richard Vaughn, will be hosting the next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, December 13th. And it's taking place at Roll Madrid. As always, I hope you guys can join us for this free event. We're going to have a blast. We're going to learn. We're going to laugh. We're going to drink some beers. That's the only thing we're missing here on the show with no name. Well, yeah, you can't drink beer in the morning. Well, either way, I'll see you on December 13th. Yeah. All right, let's see. We've got a lot of people participating. Who else is in the house? We've got Laura, who we read hers already. Kubla, he says, hello, you called the medical center. If you want to make an appointment, it's okay. How about tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock on the dot? Kubla, nice job. On the dot. Piénsalo, en punto. Same. A .com, .com, on the dot. En punto. Same word, same idea. So, great. On the dot. You called, a veces se dice también, you've called, pero el you've reached es que es totally native. Hello, you've reached the medical center. If you want to make an appointment, now, there, Kubla, I'm going to make a little adjustment, which is weird for you because you're usually Mr. Formal. I'd like, if it's a medical, I mean, you want to use the best language possible. If you'd like to make an appointment, sounds even better. Remember, this is my advice. It's always better to be a little bit more formal, especially in a work situation like that, in a professional situation. I mean, here on the show, we joke around as always, but in this, I would go with, if you'd like to make an appointment, may I instead of can I? So there are always ways to sound a bit more formal, but great. It's correct. And on the dot. I love it. And tough one there. 5 o'clock for us is afternoon and evening, or right? That's right on the dot there. That's right. Hablando there. It's right on the line, because afternoon is when you're at work. Evening is your time, and in the States it's 9 to 5. You guys work later. You also start a little bit later, but I think that's changing. I think people are like, let's get in there, get it done, and go home and try and enjoy whatever light we can get, especially in the winter. So, great job. Let's see. Leo's in the house. He says, hello. You have contacted IMET. That's the weather service, if I'm not mistaken. And this is its answering machine. Esto es el buzón de voz. We inform that there will be a strong storm at 12 on the dot. Don't leave your homes. Yeah. And again, you've called, you've contacted, pero nada me suena más natural que you've reached, right? So great one. All right, guys, I love how your answers are so varied, just like you guys. Let's see. Chris Valro says, morning, lovely and lively show with no namers. I missed you. We missed you too, Chris. The good thing is Chris was keeping me in the loop. She was sending me yummy pictures of planes and eggplant. The British say aubergine. We say eggplant. You say berenjena. I'm going to stop before I start to drool here. So we missed you too, Chris. She says, I made an appointment to see you today. At 10:30 on the dot. The answering machine says, hi, you reached Show with No Namers place. I got to be honest. You know, Americans, we don't like the presente perfecto. Aquí me suena más natural. Hi, you reached. I would say you've reached. So this is good that we're looking at this stuff, because this is important stuff. And I like it, Chris. Show with No Namers place. All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, this is really important vocabulary, and we can do some phone exercises in the future. In fact, a way that I normally do that in a class is I turn my back on the students. In my Zoom classes, you know what I do? I turn off my camera. You can't see my face on the phone. So maybe we'll do that here on the show one day. I'll give you guys a call, a fake call. And I can even, pre-record it. And I can play it for you and be like, okay, who's meeting him? What time is the appointment? It could be a good listening exercise. And we can look at some key phone vocabulary. Either way, if you have my books, the first book, English Everywhere, there's a chapter on phone vocabulary. Well, you got to know your stuff. Tienes que saber de qué estás hablando. So excellent job to everybody who participated in our pop quiz. Let's see what you guys got from the Say What soundbite. Kubla says, it's a British athlete praising a soccer icon by branding him an adamant, assertive, astounding, and forceful striker. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Wunderbar. So, adamant. No sé cómo se dice en español. Vamos a ver cómo lo... Adamant. Firme. No insistente. Terco. It's a nice way of saying stubborn. Y lo usamos también a veces. Well, did you ask him? Oh, yeah, I asked him twice. He said no, and he was adamant about it. Adamant es la palabra. Great word, Kubla. Assertive and forceful striker. And a striker is un, you say delantero. All right? You can say a forward or a striker. Right? A striker porque chuta, da golpes. Strikes. Artillero. There's Leo in the house. Leo says, in an interview, a person close to Cristiano is saying good things about this football phenomenon and his great determination. I don't think it's a Barca fun who's talking. Hang on. Fun or fan? F-A-N, right? I don't think it's a Barca fan who's talking. I doubt it. I doubt it. Lupe. Lupe says, I heard a man giving his opinion about who he considers a strong, determined, and phenomenal player. I think he said Cristiano. Well, Lupe, good ear. Yep. He said Cristiano, all right. Laura says, I heard the deep voice of a sportsman whose accent I can't pinpoint. Great vocabulary word. No puedo ubicar. Talking about a famous football player with whom he has shared changing rooms. Good ear, Laura. He deems he has a strong and determined mindset. Wonderful job. I couldn't have said it better myself. Wonderful. Also, another way to say football player, que es más fácil, footballer. No, we shrink it down and it's a footballer. All right, anybody else? Is there anybody else who'd like to participate in this section before we move on? Because if not, you guys know we've got to get the show on the road with today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, amigos, welcome to our Spelling Bee section. And folks, today I think it's going to be easy compared to some of the ones we've had recently. So what does that mean? That means I expect each and every one of you to participate. I want everybody to be all in. Como cuando jugamos el póker, all in. Pongo todo en el centro. All right, so this is like bringing your A game. I want it all here. All right, I'm giving you a clue already. Is everybody ready? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, honey. We know the name. We are the people that can find whatever you may need. If you got no money, honey, we got your disease in the jungle. Okay, I got carried away. Se me fue la pinza. It happens many times in one show, and you know it. Just imagine in a typical day. And then you mix my daughter and me, two, people who are off the wall, chiflados, and you get what you get. All right, here we go, folks. This is round one. The first one is, these do not have to be capitalized. The first one is BIRDS space, ampersand, space, BEES. The second one is EAGER space, BEAVER. The third one is NIGHT space, OWL. Perdona, lo repito, OWL. Number 4, MONKEY space, SEE, comma, space, MONKEY space, DO. The fifth one is WEASEL. And the sixth one is DARK space HORSE. All right, folks, let's see if you made it through the jungle there. The thick jungle. One of my favorite words is rainforest. Es una palabra muy lógica en inglés. You say selva, donde siempre llueve, ¿no? Donde está mojado, es húmedo, it's a moist, humid kind of climate, right? There's always humidity in the air. Well, we just call it a rainforest. Un bosque, pero de lluvia. O sea, hay bosques y bosques de lluvia. All right, let's see if anybody figured these out on the first go. It looks like Kubla is checking in over here. And let's see what you've got, Kubla. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one's correct. The fifth one's correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Great job, Kubla. You're the king of the jungle, right? A lion. But I hope you're not lying to me. Piensa otra vez, americanos no pronunciamos la G del gerundio. So the lion was lion. Estaba mintiendo, León. Same sound to us. Nobody I know, I can tell you right now, nobody I know says, you are lying. Te lo juro por, I swear on my dead ancestors, on their graves. Nobody says, are you telling me the truth? Are you telling me the truth? La G, olvídate. Forget it. It's uncomfortable to use it. A mí me cuesta poner esa G ahí. Porque no es natural. All right? And lo que no es natural is we've got 3 winners. Unbelievable here. Supernatural. Well, it's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the sweetest the emotion that I get from you. Wait, did I say 3? 4 winners. Give it up for Kubla, Born to Iron Man, Laura, and Christina. They nailed it. Unfreaking believable. All right, folks, this is round 2 of our spelling bee. This round, I expect everybody, I don't care what level you are, you're going to be able to get this. Trust me. Here we go. Let's do it together. Number 1, BIRDS space ampersand, el símbolo I en inglés. Space BEES. That's number 1. Number 2, EAGER space BEAVER. The third one, NIGHT space OWL. The fourth one is MONKEY space SEE, perdona, se me iba a añadir otra extra, comma, space MONKEY space DO. The fifth one is WEASEL. And the sixth one is DARK space HORSE. Hey, you guys hear that river in the background? Let's go with the flow. Una de mis frases favoritas. You say, déjate llevar in Spanish. We say, go with the flow. No? Sigue el flujo del río. Don't fight it. Go with the flow. And the opposite is to go against the grain, right? To do things your own way. And the grain is like en madera, ¿sabes cómo van? O en salmón, en pescado. The grain is las líneas estas naturales. So if you go against the grain, you're going against the natural way of things, right? And if you go with the flow, it's just letting the river take you where it needs to. And I think there's a time in life for both of those things. Sometimes we've got to go with the flow, and sometimes, well, we've got to do a little bit of the opposite. But so many idiomatic expressions that have to do with rivers, animals, and nature in general. And there are a few FYI episodes on nature. In fact, this week, we're going to be learning about the Grand Canyon. And you can bet we're going to talk about nature and all its awesomeness when we talk about the Grand Canyon. If you haven't listened to last week's episode with Suzanne, who's just a wonderful speaker, who I believe is going to be working on a podcast of her own soon. Believe me, I've been trying to talk her into it since I've known her, since she first participated on FYI. And I said, Suzanne, I know you're a great teacher. I know you're an amazing, generous person, and you've got a great voice, and you've got a lot to say, and you're You're teaching people about nature, beautiful things, you know? And I think, guys, we've almost talked her into it. But if you haven't listened to that episode, give it a listen. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your Vaughn podcasts. Search for FYI for your English. And yes, we have got some more winners over here. Give it up for Lupe as well. Wow, amigos. You are party animals. Yeah, do you know that one? Now that we're going to be looking at some idiomatic expressions that have to do with animals, a party animal is alguien que le gusta la fiesta. Juerguista maybe would be a good translation. Oh, man, the Rolling Stones, when they were young, they were party animals. Eso es que les gustaba salir a tope. And we're going to look at a lot of other idiomatic expressions that have to do with animals when we come back, even some that are different. If you're a rat in English, that means you rat people out. You can't be trusted. You open your mouth, right? This guy's a rat, un chivato, un soplón. But in Spanish, alguien que es un rata is a cheapskate. They're tight-fisted, stingy. ¿Quieres más formas de decir tacaño? Bueno, we can take a look at some others. That and much more, folks. When we come back, we've got to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the second half. I can't believe it. The second half of the show is right around the corner. So, stick around. Yeah. Yeah, show with no name. Listen for your name. Phone radio. Here we go. Listen for your name. I want to send a shout out to each and every one of ya. I don't know what I'd do without ya. So, show with no naming, not blaming. We're learning and growing and doing things we knowing. We're loving, we're doing and making terms of friends. Yeah. A shout out to the show with no name crew. Yeah, Chris, Varol, Laura, and Kubla. There's Iron Man and Salva. Maria Jose, where you at? Where you at? Don't forget about Monse and Nudia, Nihal, David, Carmen, Jose Maria. Leo, where you at? Hey, Onyx, Edgar, where's Vero? There she is. Paco, Elena, Joaquin, all the show with no namers. with no name is our game, and it drives us insane every day that we're driving in Spain. Show with no namers. Thank you. Shout out to you. And if I missed you, you know I love you too. Yeah. Show with no name. Yeah, Vaughn Radio. Here we go, here we go. Thank you. Merci. Gracias. Show with no namers. All right, show with no namers. Are you ready? Thank you. It's time for homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. Whoa, what's going on? Wait, what? Where are we? In Almeria? Gotta love this one, huh? All right. Well, there must be a reason I'm playing this over here. Well, maybe because my family's from Almeria and I love Clint Eastwood and I love Westerns. Or maybe this might have something to do with it. And that's why we're looking at today's homophone. Well, either way, I'm going to give you two words as I always do. And later you'll get the cowboy or the Western reference. Number one, our first word is you're missing something. Carecer de algo, right? So carecer, carencia also. Let's see another way that they say it here. It's a good word to know, and it shouldn't be careciendo en tu vocabulario. So escasez o falta. Falta. What else? A lot of times there's an expression we say too. We'll look at the expressions after. There's idiomatic expressions that come from it as well. All right? So the first word is the word carencia, escasez, carecer de algo. Okay? The second one is fortune. Fortune. Suerte, chance, fortune. That's your two words. Let's see if you recognize them and if you know if they sound the same or not. And in the meantime, let me give you guys today's Say What soundbite for the third time.
You can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with because he was just phenomenal. And
all right, there you go. Definitely a British accent, I would say, but I wouldn't say from Oxford. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, folks. If you want to get that certification with Oxford English. We are now one of the certified centers where you can do it. You can get more information at our website, grupovon.com. Or again, the thing I recommend you do the most is follow us on social media. All right, let's take a look here. We're looking at our homophones or not. Let's see. The first person to participate is Kubla, and he says the correct words, and he says they don't sound alike. All right, Kubla. Laura, those are the correct words, and she says they don't sound the same. Daniela says they aren't homophones as well. Chris Valrol agrees. Oh, wait, it's unanimous across the board here. All right, well, let's say the words. The first word is lack. Let's look at the vowel sound. Ah, 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 ah. Think of a song. I don't know. Whatever you would make that sound. Lack, lack. We lack the patience we need. Carecemos de, nos falta. Right? His skills are lacking. No, I'm using it in different incarnations, right? A lot of times the expression I was talking you, we say, well, I guess I'll have to trust my patience or lack thereof, o carencia de, no? Como que no tengo lo que acabo de decir. So we lack something. We also say for the lack of time, right? Porque nos falta tiempo. Lack of discipline, the lack of education, falta de educación, desconocimiento. They threw the case out of court because of a lack of evidence, right? No había evidencia. So think of it this way, lack of, right? Lack of. You almost always use it with of. So it's important that you know lack of. And then the expression that, as I said, is used pretty often. So you say the food supply, no, la cadena alimenticia, el abastecimiento, the food supply or lack thereof continues to cause worry, right? So falta del mismo o su falta, lack thereof. Say the word with me, lack. And if you said that they aren't homophones, well, you're in luck. Pues has tenido suerte. If you said that lack and luck are not homophones, great job. So let's look at the vowel sounds. The vowel sounds are ah, Say that. Just say that. Forget the rest. Ah, lack, luck. Lack, luck. So why, here's my question, and this is going to tell you why we got the Western reference here. Why do you say Lukey Luke? Why? It's not Lukey Luke. I remember Damian telling me, te gusta Lukey Luke? And I'm like, Lukey Luke? I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, Lukey Luke. I'm like, Lukey Luke? Like, is that like a breakdancing, like street name? His name's Lukey Luke, DJ Lukey Luke. No, he's like, Luke. And I'm like, you mean, when he showed me the movie poster, I'm like, you got to be shitting me, man. Are you kidding me? Lukey Luke? Lucky Luke. So that was that cowboy reference. So lack, luck, lucky, not Lukey. Lukey a strike también, right? Oh, man, they really killed it with that movie and that cigarette brand. And when you think of cowboys, you think of cigarettes, right? The Marlboro Man was a cowboy. So interesting stuff there, folks. So lack versus luck. Lack, luck. And it looks like Kubla didn't need any luck to get today's Say What soundbite. Wonderful job. Awesome job, Kubla. The rest of you'll still get one more chance to figure it out. And we need to go over our idiomatic expressions here in our spelling bee. I decided to take a look at some that had to do with animals today. The first one is the birds and the bees. Hay una canción. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers. The birds and the bees is sex. Have your parents talked to you about the birds and the bees yet? The birds and the bees it's a euphemism for sex. The birds and the bees. The next one, you know the word castor is beaver. Just be careful with this word. This word also has a double meaning in English. It also means vagina. ¿Quieres que te lo diga? Sí, no digas, oh, my beaver, I have a beaver. Careful. Careful. De hecho, hay una escena muy famosa en Agárralo Como Puedas. And she has a beaver, and she's on a ladder. Priscilla Presley is on a ladder, and he goes, nice beaver. Y saca un castor. That's the joke. Aha. Dice, ¿por qué saca un castor? Porque aquí es conejito. You know, if you want to say it in a different way. But no, an eager beaver has nothing to do with the animal, really, or a vagina. An eager beaver is somebody who's excited about something. They're diligent. So if it's somebody at work, they're always ready. Oh, I'll do it. Un currante, un entusiasta. Alguien que lo da todo. Is always eager to. El eager lo empleamos con to. Is always eager to go the extra mile. All right? So an eager beaver was the next one. Number 3, a party animal, a night owl, right? A night owl, un búho de noche, a night owl. That's somebody who's nocturno, right? I'm not. I used to be a night owl. Now I'm a morning person. The next one, I love this one. Monkey see, monkey do. I don't know. Maybe is this culo que quiero, que culo veo, something like this. Monkey see, monkey do. Let's see how they describe it in a simple way. It's used with kids all the time. So it means that monkey see, kids mimic. Okay? So kids do what they see. So if they see another kid doing something, they're going to do it. If they see their parents doing something, monkey see, monkey do. El mono ve y el mono hace. Right? Monkey see, monkey do. And kids love to monkey around. Les encanta a los niños hacer el mono. Remember, when we went to the zoo, I told my daughter, she was cracking up. She always laughs about it. I said, I'm going to leave you here with your family, the monkeys. And she said, Papi, you're funny. But she knows I'm not a weasel. Number 5. She knows I'm not a weasel. No soy comadreja. She knows I'm just joking around. I'm just pulling her chain. You can say pulling her leg or pulling her chain, tomándole el pelo. I'm not a weasel. Don't be a weasel. And my daughter knows weasel from one of the characters in Gecko's Garage. Lo malo le están enseñando a decir garage en vez de garage. Es un dibujo animado británico, o al menos los acentos son así. And they say, it's Gecko's Garage. And I love that she's into it, but I'm like, she goes, it's Gecko's Garage. I'm like, garage. We're American. I'll take that passport away from you. I've been given the authority vested in me by my country and all the authorities. All right. And the last one is dark horse. I don't know if you have a similar one, but a dark horse is a little known candidate, a little known person or a secretive person. So here, you're such a dark horse. You never told me you got married. Or at first, Obama was a dark horse, but he went on to win the election. These are the examples here on word reference. A dark horse, tapado, hermético, taimado, right? And it comes from from horse racing. So a lot of idiomatic expressions that come from animals. But folks, we need to move on because we've got a lot of stuff to do here on the show still. And right now we're going to the movies, or as my British friends would say, the cinema.
Name that movie.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And as always, I'm going to give you a little synopsis of the movie, and we'll see if you guys are familiar with the movie. If not, don't worry. We will learn from it no matter what. A mysterious stranger with a harmonica joins forces with a notorious desperado to protect a beautiful widow from a ruthless assassin working for the railroad. All right, so a mysterious stranger. Careful with this word. A stranger is somebody we don't know. En el extranjero is abroad or overseas. No, abroad, abroad, abroad. Dilo conmigo, he oído abroad 1000 veces. So a mysterious stranger, es que tuvo una alumna que dice, I was in the stranger, estaba dentro de la extranjera. I'm like, that sounds weird in English. So a mysterious stranger with a harmonica. Now, this is very similar, but not. You say armonica. We say harmonica. Harmonica from Friends. Harmonic. Okay. Bad joke. And they join forces, which is unirse, with a notorious desperado. I think that's a Spanish word. You know that one. To protect a beautiful widow, viuda, from a ruthless despiadado, a ruthless assassin working for the railroad. Oh, and did you hear what happened when Babe Ruth, very famous baseball player in American history, did you hear what happened when he left the Yankees? Yeah, they were ruthless. Seen Ruth? Babe Ruth. Okay, really bad joke. Really bad joke. And assassin, fácil esa palabra, working for the railroad, las vías ferres, you know, para los trenes. Okay, let's see. We've got some winners. Chris Valrol. Also, Kubla as well. Awesome job, amigos. All right, well, let's take a look at this movie. It's called Once Upon a Time in the West. Y es bueno saber esto. De aquí aprendemos érase una vez. And sometimes we do it sarcastically. A veces estás contando once upon a time in a galaxy far. But sometimes you're saying, once upon a time, you used to be a nice guy. Por ejemplo, right? So once upon a time, érase una vez. Aprende como frase hecha. Once upon a time. ¿Ves cómo no hay pausa? Once upon a time. Todo junto. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. And the end of the story? And they lived happily ever after. I guess lo del medio no cuenta. No, I'm joking. Solo cuenta el principio, el final, right? So they lived happily ever after. Comieron perdices, you say. And once upon a time is érase una vez, if I'm not mistaken. So once upon a time in the West. And this is an awesome Western. You guys know, I feel like I'm in a Western mood today. I don't know why, but, well, it's like food. I'm always down for a meal. Oh, I'm always down for a Western, a good Western. So harmonica says it's a station. Es una estación. And all around it, a town. Y alrededor de ello, un pueblo. Brett McBain's town. El pueblo de Brett McBain. And Cheyenne starts to laugh. Was he crazy? Vaya si estaba loco. And harmonica says, yeah, in a very special way. An Irishman. Sí, una forma muy especial. Un irlandés. And he starts measuring out, empieza a medir, a square and hammers wood spikes y empieza a darle martillazos a unos clavos into the ground. Spikes are the ones you use with tents. Una tienda de campaña. And harmonica says he knew sooner or later that railroad coming through Flagstone would continue on west, que seguiría moviéndose, expandiendo hacia el oeste. So he looked over all this country out here until he found his hunk of desert. And his hunk of desert, a hunk es trozo, right? A hunk of burning love, un trozo de amor quemando, Elvis, ardiendo. I'm a hunk of burning love. A hunk también es un buen horro. Some people will say Elvis Presley was a hunk. So until he found this hunk of desert, este trozaco en este caso, nobody wanted it. Nadie lo quería. But he bought it. Pero él lo compró. And he continues on with his work. And Harmonica says, then he tightened his belt. And for years, he waited, right? And to tighten your belt is ajustar las cosas, right? To tighten your belt, to be austeridad, right? To tighten your belt, okay? So then he tightened his belt for years and he waited. And Cheyenne said, waited for what? He goes, well, for the railroad to reach this point. We looked at the word reach, como contactar, pero también es llegar, alcanzar. And Cheyenne says, but how in hell could he be sure the railroad would pass through his property? ¿Y cómo iba a saber que iba a pasar por su propiedad? He goes, them steam engines, now it sería those, not them, right? Pero in the West, they're not known for their grammar, and in the South. So he goes, them steam engines can't roll without water. No pueden moverse sin agua. And the only water for 50 miles west of Flagstone is right here, under this land. So he's playing a waiting game with the railroad company and saying, you want this land, you got to pay me for the water as well. And Cheyenne says, aha, he was no fool, our dead friend, huh? No era tonto nuestro amigo muerto, huh? And he chuckles, and to chuckles, and then he says, he was going to sell this piece of desert for his weight in gold, wasn't he? Iba a vender este trozo de desierto por su peso en oro, no? We say the same thing. He's worth his weight in gold. And he looks at him and he says, you don't sell the dream of a lifetime. No vendes el sueño de tu vida. Brett McBain wanted his station. He got the rights to build it. Obtuvo los derechos para construirlo. So as always, we are learning from music, from movies, and also playing and doing different challenges. And the good news, we've got so many more challenges up ahead. In the fourth and final part of today's show, I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. I hope you're laughing. And I hope you're ready for some more in just a moment. Also, a quick reminder, right after this show, in no time, in un santiamén, you've got the wonderful Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. But first, we've got another half hour of the show with no name up next. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth part of today's show with no name. And just a quick reminder, I want to urge all of you to participate in our question of the week. It won't be this Friday, it'll be the following Friday. But get it done, get it out of the way. All you have to do is introduce yourself and tell us when you feel the most alive. When you're doing what activity or with what person. There's no wrong answer. When do you feel the most alive? Tell us in your best English in a 1-minute voice message that you can send to my Vaughn email address. Write it down. alonso@grupovaughn.com. We look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And I say we because it's not just me. Your fellow students look forward to hearing from you every week now, too. I don't want to say it, but I think the section is a roaring success. Awesome. And also, don't forget, tomorrow we've got the second installment of Learn with Lara. Well, you'll see how my daughter learns in a natural way. We can learn a lot from kids, believe me. I've learned so much in the last 4 years. I don't know who's learned more, Lara or me. Well, now you can learn with both of us in the new section, Learn with Lara. All here on the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And now it's time for Double Trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, amigos. Double trouble only on the show with no name. And here's your translation, but it's not your average translation. It's a translation with a twist. And that twist is you have to use the same word twice. The good thing, I think you guys are going to nail it today, especially because one of the expressions I know for a fact we've looked at it here on the show several times. So here's your double trouble. Él está fuera de competencia porque hay otra persona llevando la voz cantante hoy en día. Repito. Él está fuera de competencia porque hay otra persona llevando la voz cantante hoy en día. You have to use the same word twice. As you know, that's the way this section works. So, él está fuera de competencia porque hay otra persona llevando la voz cantante hoy en día. That's your double trouble. You have to use the same word twice. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite, folks. This is the last listen.
You can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with because he was just phenomenal. And
all right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and there's something I forgot to tell you, which I think is pretty important. Now, Sergio Leone originally offered the role of harmonica in the movie to Clint Eastwood. Sound familiar? But he turned it down. He didn't want to work for Leone anymore. He'd already worked for him enough, in his opinion. And so James Coburn was also approached, se le acercaron, for the role of harmonica, but he wanted too much money. His demands were too high. And Charles Bronson previously turned down the role of the man with no name in A Fistful of Dollars. So Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, you see what's going on there? And he thought the script was terrible. Now, Fistful of Dollars is a very popular movie. And finally, the role of Colonel Douglas Mortimer for a few dollars more was where Leone hoped that he could use him a second time. But Bronson declined both of those movies because he'd already signed up to film another famous movie, The Dirty Dozen. So they were shuffling around. Let me sum it up. They were shuffling around their bad guys, barajando sus malotes. Sus malotes buenos, right? Tough guys, I should say. Instead of bad guys, tough guys. Tipos duros. So I didn't know that. Very interesting behind the scenes stuff there. Oh, and Henry Fonda turned down the role of Frank as well, initially. And Sergio Leone flew to the U.S. and met with Henry Fonda. And he said, "Why do you want me?" He said to Sergio Leone. And Sergio Leone said, and I have the quote here, "Picture this. Imagínate esto. The camera shows a gunman from the waist down, desde la cintura para abajo, pulling his gun out and shooting a running child. The camera pans up, se mueve hacia arriba, pan up, pan down, pan left, pan right. And the camera pans up to the gunman's face, and it's Henry Fonda." And this was a big role for Henry Fonda because up until then, he had just played the good guy, the goody two-shoes, el buenín. And he wanted to play some of these tough guy roles that Charles Bronson and not Henry Fonda, and Charles Bronson and Clint Eastwood and James Coburn were doing. So interesting, the stories, not just the one story, the stories behind the making of the Westerns, not just the spaghetti Westerns, but in general, because it was such a popular genre for so long. Like that was the genre, Now it's like the superhero movies. Everything's got to be Marvel Universe or this, everybody's got to be a superhero. No, you can't have a movie without capes now. It's like, oh, okay, but we've seen a lot of them now. Let's try something different. I don't know, just saying. Originality, it loses its flavor. All right, let's see. Kubla's taken a stab at today's Double Trouble. Let's see. He says he's off the show because there's another person running the show nowadays. Okay, I'm going to give it to you, but it's not exactly the same. There's a nuance there. He's off the show as ya no está en el programa. So, if it's not a show, though, que vamos a decir que es una elección, ¿no? Ya está fuera de competencia, ya no tiene votos para entrar. Like, let's put it that way, more than una competencia en la tele, a game show. So, great effort, though. Great. To be off the show is not really an idiomatic expression. It's a literal way of saying, no está en el programa. But I'm looking for an idiomatic expression that means está fuera de competencia. And I heard it. In fact, I was listening to a podcast and they said it. And I go, voy a coger esta, a ver si lo saben mis alumnos. So the second part is the one we've looked at a lot. To run the show. ¿Quién lleva la voz cantante? Who runs the show? And you know the answer in my house? Lara. Yeah, clearly. Yeah. We're not going to lie here. Okay. Let's see. Laura's taken a stab at it. She says he's out of shot because there's someone else calling the shots nowadays. I'm going to give you the E for effort, but nope. All right. It's a really difficult one, but the good thing is your fellow students, Kubla and Laura, are on the right track. Now, let me see here if I can find it in the running, the discharge. I'm looking for household business management. I'm seeing if there's a word for without the expression, basically. But the expression I'm looking for is somebody is out of the running. So it's simple. If you're in the running, you're competing. Okay, it's frase hecha. Am I still in the running? Yep. You have enough points. You're qualified. You're in, right? You're still in this, man. You're in the running. You could still win this. And think about this. You run for president. Te presentas o sigues ahí presentado. Sigues en la carrera could be another way to think of it as well. Because we don't say you're in the race. It's a different thing. So in the running or out of the running means you're in it or you're not in the competition, the contest, whatever's happening. So he's out of the running because there's another person running the show these days. The word I doubled up on was to run. We know it as correr, but usually it means other things as well. So he's out of the running because there's another person running the show these days. All right. Let's see. Chris says, lead the way. What's your question? So lead the way. Llevar la voz cantante. Lead the way. I don't know if that's to lead the way is to be an example, right? To kind of be the first one to do it. So it's not exactly the same. I wouldn't say that. No. So to be out of the running or to be in the running. If you're in the running, you're still in it. Think of the campaigns now in the United States. They're preparing for 2024. Some people are in. People keep asking, is Trump in the running? Yeah, he's still in the running, right? He's still in the contest. He's not. You can't rule the person out yet. And to be out of the running is the opposite. And to run the show is the same as to call the shots, as Laura pointed out. So wonderful job to all my amigos. And I'm going to reward you with some hysterical jokes.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking. This is where we learn English with a little bit of humor, a dash, una pizca de humor. And I want to send a shout out to our amigo, Fabio. Fabio is in the house and he's tuning in from Colombia. Wow, Fabio, you are up early. There's no doubt in my mind you are a go-getter. You know that expression or that word? A go-getter is alguien que va por ello. You're a go-getter. I know it. I can feel it. Fabio, welcome. And I love your name too. One of my best friends when I was growing up, his name was, well, we pronounced it Fabio, not Fabio. But whatever. Tomato, whatever. Aurora's in the house. Aurora. I'm going to say it a la inglesa, a la americana. Aurora. No suena igual. It's like Carolina Herrera. Carolina Herrera. Well, you know what? Aurora is a very special name in my family. It's my mother's middle name. My mother's name is Linda Aurora. So Aurora Flores. What a beautiful name you have as well. Hi there to you as well. All right, here we go with some jokes, my amigos. A cowboy, a friend of mine who's a cowboy, he lives out in the West. And he asked me if I could help him round up 18 cows. Okay. And to round up it's what a cowboy does. They round up, acercar, juntar. Let's see how they do it over here. Round up the troops, juntar, arrear. Round up the troops, arrea, junta, reúne, right? To round somebody or something up. Round up. Okay, so now that you know that word, got to make sure you know the word, or else you're not going to get the punchline. You're definitely not going to get the punchline. So a cowboy friend of mine, Cowboy Bob, great friend of mine, he asked me if I could help him round up 18 cows. And I said, sure, that's 20 cows. No. Cowboy Bob asked me if I could help him round up 18 cows. And I said, sure, dude, that's 20. Well, I just gave you one meaning of round up. Arrear, juntar. Come on, round up, guys. Everybody, I'm going to round everybody up for lunch. Also, to round up is to estimate going up. To round down, then, is to estimate. So if you round it down, let's say it's 13, you round it down to 10. If it's 18, you round it up to 20. See what I round it up is estimar subiendo, estimar bajando. Usually the general rule is if it's below 4, you round it down. Also, if it's a decimal or something like that, you can round it off. There's another way of saying it. So it's 8.888. Well, round it off, it's 9%. Round it off or round it up, porque vas para arriba. Round it off is great for both of them. So you get it now? A cowboy friend of mine asked me if I could help him round up 18 cows. And he said, sure, that's, and I said to him, sure, that's 20 cows. We rounded up. Estímalo. Okay. All right. How did the cowboy save so much money? How did he manage to save so much money? Well, his horse gave him a couple bucks every day. No. His horse gave him a couple bucks every day. Well, bucks are dollars. You say 20 pavos, we say 20 bucks. Buck is also un ciervo, but what does it have to do with a ciervo then? Well, also a horse, when a horse bucks, it kicks its back legs. So corcovear, to buck. You really need to know some English vocabulary. They talk about a bucking bronco, right? It's a horse that's going wild and kicking its back legs. So do you get it now? How did the cowboy save so much money? Or save up? Es otra forma de decir ahorrar. How did the cowboy save up so much money? His horse gave him a couple bucks every day. Le dio un par de pavos, le dio un par de patadas. All right. How did the cowboy know his cattle were following him without even turning around? So how did the cowboy know that his cattle, su ganado, his cattle were following him without even turning his head, without even turning around? Easy. He heard them. No. He heard them? No. Well, I know you know herd, les oyó, but also a herd is a group of animals. Manada, right? And to herd is horda, es masa, si hablamos de gente. But a herd, to herd is a verb, is arrear, otra vez. So he heard them, les arreó, les manada. I know, you haven't heard any jokes like this. No, these jokes are different from the herd. Okay, all right. They're different from the jokes you've heard in the herd. Okay, all right. Last one, I promise, because we've got to move on. What did the cowboy say at his second rodeo? Careful. La Calle in Beverly Hills, rodeo. It's Rodeo Drive. But you want to go to the rodeo? Same word, different pronunciation. So what did the cowboy say at his second rodeo? This ain't my first rodeo. No. This idiomatic expression came up on my podcast yesterday. I was recording an FYI episode for the future, and this came up. Well, this expression means I've done this before. No es mi primera vez. Tengo experiencia. So you guys who are show with no namers, who are here every day participating, you know the drill. This isn't your first rodeo. No es tu primer rodeo. I don't know how you pronounce it in Spanish. It's when they have the horses and the cowboys. So when you tell somebody, this isn't my first rodeo, it's tengo experiencia, no es mi primera vez. All right, there we go, my amigos. Time to celebrate infamous birthday trivia. All right, we've got to move. We don't have much time. Number one, she was born today in 1943, a Canadian singer, songwriter, and guitarist. And she was huge in the 60s folk music scene. She's still known as one of the queens of folk music. And her music had a message. It was anti-war. And, well, she's got some really great songs. Chelsea Morning, which she wrote at the Chelsea Hotel in New York City, by the way. It's a little fun fact. And, well, she wrote the song Woodstock, Big Yellow Taxi. She definitely has a soothing voice, and she was there for the Newport Folk Festival. I mean, she was the queen of folk music and continues to be, even though it's not as popular these days. Number 2, the goalkeeper, a Spanish goalkeeper who is currently a free agent. He was raised in Illescas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And he began playing for Atlético de Madrid. He was at Manchester United as well. And I can't remember his girlfriend's name. His wife? She's a singer. Isn't she a singer or a TV star? I don't know. All right. Well, he's a very popular Spanish goalkeeper. And last but not least, another soccer player. His first name is River, but in Spanish. Pero no es español. What? Y estábamos hablando de Ríos antes. Ooh, I just said his name. Oops. All right, Kubla taking a stab at it, but that last one, nope. That last one is incorrect there. All right, I'll give them to you guys because we don't have much time at all. Number 1, Joni Mitchell, the queen of folk music. Number 2, David De Gea. And number 3, from Manchester, Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand. Oh, yeah, Rio Ferdinand. And that brings us to our Say What soundbite. It's him talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. He says, you can't look no further than Cristiano. No puedes mirar más allá que Cristiano. You can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. Y quieres hablar de mentalidad. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I've shared a changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. Que he compartido vestuario con. So this is Rio Ferdinand.
You can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset. I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd shared a changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. And
all right, there you go, folks. Name that lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric. Name that lyric. Name that lyric. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. Great job. Great job to each and every one of you here on the show with no name today. Wonderful. Here's today's Name That Lyric. It's Duran Duran. And it's, don't worry, it's not Rio. Hey, we looked at Rio, right? The Rio Ferdinand. Well, they've got a song. His name is Rio and she's on the Rio Grande. No, this one is called Come Undone. And when you come undone, it means te deshaces, right? Te desatas. Who do you need? Who do you love? When you come undone. Also, Korn. You'll hear this a lot in music. The expression come undone. Korn as well, one of my favorite bands. Korn has a song called Come Undone as well. So you should know the expression if you're a Duran Duran fan or a Korn fan, or both, like me, which is very different kinds of music there. But we can learn from all of them and we can enjoy all of those songs. So the song goes, mine immaculate dream, sueño inmaculado, made breath and skin, hizo respiración y piel, I've been waiting for you, signed, firmado, with a home tattoo, con un tatuaje de casa, which I don't know what that means really, right? A home tattoo. But just what I want you to focus on is the fact that the word tattoo is not tattoo. In English, it's tattoo. O sea, el acento va al final. Well, folks, we've got to get going, and I'm going to leave you with this amazing song, Come Undone. It's awesome. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Show with No Name. Sing it with me. Look up the lyrics. Let's do it. My immaculate dream made breath and skin. I've been waiting for you. Nice job, amigos. And thanks for learning and laughing with us here every day on the Show with No Name. Newsflash. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this breaking news. Attention all Show with No Namers. As of January 2024, the Show with No Name live stream will be available exclusively to my patrons. If you'd like to continue to watch the show daily and participate in real time, join us at patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. And what is Patreon, you may ask? Well, as many of you know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. I've taught all kinds of people, from famous folks to young kids. And with a background in acting, I love communication. I have a radio show that's been on the air for 15 years and a very successful podcast called FYI. I've also written 5 books and have appeared on numerous TV and radio programs. But the thing I'm most proud of is this curious community on Patreon that we are creating every day together. And I really think you should join us. For as little as €3 a month, you can have access to Show with No Name live stream daily. Every week you can get a bonus episode of FYI. Also PDFs so you can follow the podcast. And the moment you sign up, you'll have access to an archive of over 1,000 posts. You'll also get early access to all my content. And a new feature, a chat, so you can have direct access to me and your fellow students. And most of all, you'll be a part of a curious community of people just like you, English explorers. Consider joining us on Patreon for as little as €3 a month, and you'll get access to so many English resources. And I highly recommend you sign up for a yearly membership. This way you make a commitment and you'll also save 10%. And don't take my word for it. Just ask some of my interstellar students.
I've already improved my pronunciation, and as a consequence, I've gained a lot of confidence in my speaking. Thanks to our weekly review class and our monthly masterclass, where, by the way, to top it off, we have a lot of fun. In a nutshell, if you are willing to better your English, and much more, in a fun way, you won't regret it if you join us.
Alberto is a passionate teacher, an excellent communicator, and what I think is key, he's able to put himself in the student's shoes. He's always willing to help. You'll have access to a wide range of topics every week, bonus content, vocabulary receipts, weekly review classes, monthly master classes, and so on. I think it's much more than just learning English. So go to Patreon, have a look around, and give it a try.
Because it has helped me keep my English in check and improve my language skills in the most fun way, because his podcast is really, really, really entertaining and fun, and so are the classes that we have afterwards to revise and go over the vocabulary and just discuss interesting topics. So if you're considering becoming a Patreon, don't hesitate, because that's a great way to improve your English.
We now return you back to your regularly scheduled program. So what are you waiting for? Learn and laugh with us in our curious community over on patreon.com/Alberto Alonso. See you there.